President Mubarak's life in Addis in mid-90s. So now Egypt is coming back very, very actively, and now there is a sort of understanding, a better understanding of Africa, that Egypt is coming back, that Africa is losing while Egypt is outside the participation of the activities of the African Union. Just today in Khartoum, you know, this regional African group called the Coast and the Desert, or in Arabic seen SAD, the Coast and Desert region in Africa, which contains 29 African countries ranging from the Red Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. They issued a statement today to call upon the African Union. 29 foreign ministers from Africa called upon the African Union to reconsider as soon as possible its wrong decision to suspend Egypt's participation in the activities of the African Union. So we are building up the case, and I can tell you that it's coming soon. Egypt is coming back to the African Union activities very soon, with the implementation of the roadmap, with having the presidential election. We are coming back. So I can say that safely that, you know, there is a better understanding from Africa to Egypt's position vis-a-vis the Nile issue, vis-a-vis the African Union.
Which we will actually be talking about back again, the Nile Basin in Africa. We'll just go on a short break, and we'll be right back with Dr. Badr.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise, and we're still continuing our interview with the Foreign Ministry spokesman, Dr. Ambassador Badr Abdel. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us. Let's start first now with the Nile Basin dispute, and this is a topic that everybody's interested with. There has been escalations on the Ethiopian side and also on diplomatic reactions from Egypt. We'd like to know from you more about what is the current stance and how is the relation going with Ethiopia in specific?
Well, there are two issues here. First of all, as you correctly mentioned, the problems facing the Nile Basin Initiative. Secondly, the Renaissance Dam project in Ethiopia. For the first issue, it's a serious issue. And, you know, we agreed with the rest of the upstream countries in the Nile Basin on all differences, all issues of agreement, except two small issues. First of all, what's so-called the period notification, which is an integral part of the international law. The Nile River is considered as an international river, which means that you cannot just come as a country, as an upstream country, and construct the flow of water without notifying the downstream country, which in our case is Egypt and Sudan. So this is still a subject of conflict between, or a part of a subject of differences between Egypt and Sudan in one hand and the rest of the upstream countries, the period notification, and secondly, the historical rights. Because, you know, we have to respect the previous internationally binding agreements, which is, of course, administrating the mutual usage of water among the Nile Basin country. So we still in contact with our brothers in the Nile Basin country in order to work out those differences, in order to have a common initiative, which is the Nile Basin Initiative, based on common interest and common projects. Secondly, the Renaissance Dam project, which is, there are a great deal of misperceptions with regard Egypt's position vis-a-vis this project. First of all, you know, Egypt is with the view that it's the full right of all our brothers in the upstream countries, including Ethiopia, to make use of their natural sources, including water sources, of course. They have the full right, of course, to use those resources for the sake of development. Egypt before, in the last 20, 30 years, agreed at least to construct 20 dams before in upstream countries, in Kenya, in Uganda, in Tanzania, you name it. So as a matter of principle, we are not against the principle of constructing a dam for development, for generating power. This is not an issue for us. The only issue for us is, of course, is not to harm the interest of any party. And this is an integral part of the international law. You are not, because the Nile is coming from your territories, you don't have the full right to put whatever you want and to harm the interest of the others. So again, we are with the view of mutual cooperation. Dialogue is very important, based on win-win situation. They can benefit and we can benefit without harming the interest of Egypt or Sudan. So again, we still with the view of constructive dialogue, cooperation, and with this constructive approach with Ethiopia. We are with this approach, of course, based on or providing that the other side is serious as well and will conduct a serious negotiation, not negotiation to waste time and to build realities on the ground.
What if Egypt, what would be the reaction if Ethiopia continues?
Well, I mean, we have different scenarios, of course. I mean, the water security is an integral part of our national security. Egypt is the only country in the Nile Basin region which is relying heavily on the water of this great river. Egypt is relying by 95% of its annual needs of water is coming from this river. Only one source. Herodot 2,000 years ago was not, wrong when he said that Egypt was the gift of the Nile, because without the Nile there was no Egypt. It's a life or death issue for Egypt. But again, back to your question, we are with dialogue with Ethiopia. They have the full right to build their dam. We offered even to share with them, even to mobilize financial resources for them for constructing this dam, for development, for our brothers and sisters in Ethiopia, but without harming the interests of Egypt. We agreed before Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan to have what's so-called the International Panel of Experts, with a composition of 10 experts, 6 experts from the 3 countries, by 2 from Egypt, 2 from Sudan, and 2 from Ethiopia, and the 4 international experts. They put a report. They said in this report, in their recommendation, that we cannot measure the outcome, the impact of this dam, with the magnitude of this dam from the environmental point of view, or the flow of the quantity of the water coming to Egypt and Sudan, or the safety, because some experts arguing that the safety of the dam is not high. So there is a possibility that due to the earthquake activities in this region, it could have some problems regarding safety. So who's going to pay the price if, for God forbid, something happened to that? The whole Sudan and most of Egypt will be drawn with water. So that's why the International Panel of Experts asked for more information, more statistics from the Ethiopian side. Unfortunately, they didn't provide the panel, they didn't provide Egypt or Sudan with any information. That's why, again, we are asking them to provide more information, because the dam, the original design of the dam was with the capacity of 14 billion cubic meters artificial lake of storage. They moved it, they expanded from 14 billion to 74 billion cubic meters, all of a sudden, without having studies, without having, any information.
Or
that's
have
right.
some sort of dialogue over that. At the end, I'd like to thank you very much for your insights. Ambassador Badr Abdel, Foreign Ministry spokesman, it has been a great pleasure to have you with us at Nile Cruise.
Thank you very
so
much, Dr.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now let's move on for a short break and the upcoming story, and returning back for more.